The normal function of the mind is to accept or reject, so it must be trained to accept beneficial things and reject harmful things. By training, the mind will gain a taste for pure foods, improving books, inspiring entertainment, enlightened company, and ultimately for service and devotion to God. If the mind is clear of distractions, it will naturally be governed by Krishna and be the true friend and bringer of freedom. This is because it will not obscure the messages of the Supreme Self reserved within the heart. Hello there, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to another video. So beyond grateful that you're here, as per always. It's a bit of a gloomy day today. I don't know why I always feel the need to say the weather now. It's just because I feel like I'm always in the weather, and it was storming this morning. I felt like I was in a washing machine. Genuinely, the sounds of the tin roof and the wind blowing against the house and the rain is just you're literally in a washing machine. And I don't know, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of intense as well. Sometimes if you allow your anxiety to overrun you, you're the roof is literally going to fly off right now. It's actually gonna. But on an even crazier note, I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be in Canada right now. And the universe was just no, not happening. It's not gonna happen. I would also like to say a big thank you to Matcha.com for sponsoring today's video. You see them in all of my videos because I genuinely use them on a daily basis. I absolutely love them. They're the best tasting matcha I've ever had in my entire life. If you went to a coffee shop and had a matcha, I guarantee you it is barely even subpar to this matcha. Code and link down in the description box. I'll talk a little bit more about them when I make my second matcha of the day, because a gloomy day requires 2 matchas, in my opinion. But I can't even express to you how many signs the universe gave me not to go back to Canada. So this video is dedicated to following your heart and listening to the universe, because I'm telling you, it's gonna put you exactly where you need to be. Hi, mister. Hi, mister. Come cuddle. Come cuddle. A clear mind, undistracted by the senses, is like a well-tuned radio receiver. It receives and communicates, free of background interference, the messages of God. One whose mind is tuned to the divine signal is always guided by the Lord. When we recognize Krishna to be the essence of all, we see the value in all, because all is part of Krishna. Consequently, we lose the inclination to condemn others for their actions, for we know that Krishna permits all to act as they desire without condemnment. So I've been reading this book on the Bhagavad Gita, which I probably say a little funny, Talks Between the Soul and God by Ranchor Prem. But he originally wrote this book for his children to understand the Bhagavad Gita. So he takes portions of it, and then beside these verses from the Bhagavad Gita, he then explains what it's saying in a very light-hearted way. And yeah, it's just honestly really enjoyable. I've been flying through this. I picked it up a couple days ago. I'm already on page 62, and I've been rereading sections as well, because sometimes you read these spiritual texts and you're just honestly, I have no idea what this is actually saying. And then he explains it, and I'm oh, okay, now I can go back to the section and read it again with a little bit more of an understanding. I've learned a lot and feel this is probably my favorite spiritual text so far. I just feel it's really honest. I have a vision of a blackberry lemon oat bake with nuts, and I'm gonna try. Dried pears are phenomenal. If you've never had a dried pear before, they're legitimate candy. I'm gonna start by mashing 3 bananas. Our good friend tahini. So adding about a 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons. And about 3 tablespoons of sugar. Chopping a good handful of almonds. Let's do another small handful. 2 cups of quick oats, 2 tablespoons of the seed mix that I have. It has poppy seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, just a big old mixture. I don't have a microplane, so I'm just going to cut some lemon peel off of the lemon. About a teaspoon of lemon zest. A couple tablespoons of oat milk. I'm gonna add 1 more cup of oats, just because I feel like it's not gonna fill the baking dish if I don't. Some powdered vanilla, 1 tablespoon of avocado oil, Why are you not hot yet? Okay. I'm also gonna have a little peanut butter banana moment because this oat bake is gonna take like 30 minutes or so. And I'm hungry. She's so pretty. I'm so excited for this. It smells so good.
Colorful eyes, I think I love you too much. I miss your blueberry eyes. The memory's over.
If you don't have blackberries, blueberries would work just fine. You could make it a little bit more sweet if you are a sweet tooth, but this is intended to be breakfast. However, you could add a scoop of vanilla protein powder or a couple scoops of vanilla protein powder instead of the vanilla powder or vanilla extract, and that'll also add some sweetness as well.
I keep stepping off all times I get laughing over. I keep wanting you too long. I keep tripping on myself, thinking you're my lover. I've been way too long, honestly, baby.
Although my go-to morning drink is just a ceremonial grade matcha with a good splash of oat milk, it's what I keep coming back to every single day. There are so many recipes and moments in my life that I've enjoyed matcha over the years. From blackberry lemonade matcha to mango smoothie matcha, yogurt bowls, matcha lavender lattes, sipping it while car camping across Canada to enjoying it now in South Africa. Matcha.com is a huge part of my life and holds a dear place in my heart. Getting up every day and making myself a matcha is a slow practice that I'm so incredibly grateful for because it lets me meditate, visualize, and sit in gratitude. To enjoy a drink that has been enjoyed by others for hundreds of years reminds me how special this life I have here today truly is. Matcha.com has so many recipes and information on their blog, from traditional ways to enjoy matcha to fun, fancy desserts and all of the recipes that I just mentioned. So if you're looking for a fun way or a traditional way to enjoy matcha, then head there. Matcha.com sources their matcha from multi-generational small craft tea farms in Japan, which helps to protect tradition. As matcha has grown massively in popularity over the years, that most often leads to caring about quantity instead of quality in the industry. Matcha is so much more than something that will just kickstart your day. It's also ancient and traditional. So try out matcha.com by using my code LOVEJulia at checkout for 25% off. Click the link down in my description box and get started on your matcha journey as well. I hope it brings you as many beautiful places as it has me. And thank you so much to matcha.com for sponsoring today's video. So let me tell you what happened while we make this shawarma chickpea bowl. I had some chickpeas soaking overnight, and now I'm just gonna put them on boil to finish cooking them. But the reason I'm here, the reason I'm still in South Africa, my plane went from delayed 4 hours to delayed unknown to rescheduled 24 hours later. But the funny thing is, when I called to check up on that flight, it didn't exist. So we all got a notification for a flight that simply didn't exist. It was delayed because the airport lights, runway lights, were not working. Should probably put my hair up. But the whole time this was happening, I couldn't not find it absolutely hilarious. I'm sitting there giggling to myself, giggling at the universe for how funny it all is. And that's because ever since I booked that flight, it just felt wrong in my gut. And not because I didn't want to see people in Canada. I had some amazing plans booked for the 3 weeks that I was going to be there. But for some reason beyond me, that I can't explain, really, even now, why. And yes, I've had cancellations, I've had delays before in my life. This is not an unknown occurrence. I've traveled the world for the last 2 years. I've had delays, but I haven't had 6 weeks of hesitation and crazy airport problems. And in this life, I find there's a lot of should, a lot of have to, and not a lot of following the heart. So I decided to be a little adventurous and follow my heart. But as of right now, I don't know what the next month of my life is going to look like. Although I have this feeling that it's exactly what I need, I don't know how to express it. I don't know how to really put these things into words. It's just a knowing, it's a feeling, it's intuition, and learning to trust myself and that I'm making the right decisions, even if it makes not a lot of sense. And you may be thinking, why are you even leaving if you love where you are so much right now? And that's the thing about travel. Sometimes you find home in places that you don't have a visa for. At least not a long-term one. But it wasn't just the 6 weeks of hesitation and the flight confusion. It was so many clear signs that I specifically asked for and received from the universe. One of which I asked before I even booked the flight back to Canada. I asked the universe if I should go back to Canada or if I should go somewhere else. 35 minutes later, I saw that sign. But then I came to the conclusion that I should go back to Canada. The second sign I asked for about a week before I left, supposed to leave for Canada. And again, 35 minutes later, I saw that sign. I asked for a specific row of letters, and I saw that. But the craziest one happened after I decided to cancel the trip, which was the icing on top, because 3 days prior, I asked for this sign. And I said, universe, please show me this sign within 3 days. So after being put up in a hotel, sitting on whether or not I should go back to Canada for 12 hours and then making the decision to just cancel and then take an Uber back home, I was ripping up a box and burning it to start a fire. I was about 85% of the way burning through that box when the universe told me to look. I wasn't really paying attention to the box prior. I was just ripping and throwing, trying to get my place warm once again. I tore a piece. The universe told me to look. I did. The name I asked for was on it. If that wasn't the most clear confirmation, I don't know what is. Like, if all of that stuff didn't happen and I didn't find my way home that night, I would have never seen that. Maybe a little bit too tahini-y. And since then, I've seen 2 more signs that I didn't necessarily ask for. I've just been protruding the energy of like, ensure me that I'm on the right path, universe. Ensure me that I've made the right choice, universe. And being so grateful for these things that have already happened. And then 2 more signs have showed up. And the only reason I'm not sharing exactly what these signs are is because they are a little personal. However, be sure they are all being documented, recorded through journaling and texting all of my friends. So if ever one day I write a book, they will be inside. I recommend serving this up with rice, but I just was not craving it, so here I am. So I forgot that my friend invited me to a book club, a silent book club. I feel like this is super, super cool. It has nothing to do with reading the same book as everybody else, but people just gather, sit together, and read their individual book as a collective, and I think that's so cool. And then there's like mingling time afterwards. So let's do a little adventure into town. Check this thing out. I've never done it before, so who knows? It could be like extremely awkward and weird, but I think it's a really sweet idea. I still have not found different shoes, so we're going classy skirt and trail runners. Snack for the road. That was so lovely. So many more people than I thought. Like I thought there was gonna be like maybe 20, 30 people, but it was like whole shebang, like probably 100 or more people. And if you don't have something like this already in your city, start it. It's great. It really encourages you to like sit and focus on the task at hand, reading a book. I know most of us have a hard time getting through books because we just have a hard time focusing with all of our technology nowadays. It makes us all a little bit more ADHD. So recommend starting a little book club, having a little silent read. It's so beautiful that everyone is just so focused on their own book and then can talk and ask questions about other people's book afterwards. Yeah, it was really, really lovely. Hey, warmed up some leftover rooibos tea, and I'm gonna get started on dinner. I'm loving that the sun is setting later and later as we move through winter here in South Africa. I'm going to start by just ripping a block of tofu into my pan, and we're gonna do like a quote-unquote marry me tofu. I've seen the term marry me tofu or marry me chickpeas or marry me whatever. I don't know why it's called that. Maybe it's just because it's so good that I will make someone want to marry you. I'm not giving this to anybody else, so hopefully I want to marry myself after. Douse said tofu in oil. Don't be shy. And also a good amount of salt. Give this a good mix. Now I'm gonna pop this in the oven and just cook it until it gets crispy. I'm gonna use convection, so if you have an air fryer, this would be great for an air fryer. I feel like I've said this a million times in videos, but bake until golden brown. me over here just like romanticizing this meal to the max because it's like a marry me tofu. Give it a little taste test. Or not. The only thing I would say, make sure that you get sun-dried tomatoes that you know taste amazing, because that is the flavor of the dish, you know? This is actually really, really good. You could serve this up with pita bread, rice, or even mix in pasta. I think that would be really delicious as well. Because I have no tables, my couch always ends up looking like this at the end of the day. I literally just feel like I've been in a vacuum of reality where I've asked God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, for all of these signs. And the signs just keep coming to me. It is the most surreal experience the last like couple weeks, ever since I've been truly diving into meditation and like feeling so connected in my heart to everything. It's so powerful, my friends. Like, this is your encouragement that meditation actually freaking works if you do it consistently. I've always been a meditator, here, there, a little bit of that, this. But being grounded and having a consistent practice, even just 2 weeks in, has been game changer for life. With all of that being said, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you more than I can ever express. You are me, I am you. We are all connected to this beautiful thing that we are experiencing. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. It truly helps me out. And I hope to see you again so very soon. Lots of love. Mwah!